Would the day that Roe v. Wade is repealed be a good day for America?
It'd be okay.
Okay to repeal?
It would be okay to repeal. It would be okay also if a strict construction, if the judge viewed it as precedent, and I think a judge has to make that decision.
Would it be okay if they didn't repeal it?
I think the court has to make that decision, and then the country can deal with it. We're a federalist system of government, and states could make their own decisions.
Well, that's 2 thumbs up from Rudy Giuliani, Lois, either for or against. I mean, he's got it both sides, like
right.
Cisco, or it's rather like Ebert and Roper now. I like the movie and I didn't like the movie. It's okay if they do get rid of it. It's okay if they don't.
Well, the big question...
Is that going to work in American politics where you have half the voters women who do have an interest in that issue, particularly?
No. Rudy's going to have to decide where he is on this. But the one thing that we still don't know is whether the Republican base who are supporting him, who are giving him these poll numbers, whether they really understand where he is on the social issues.
Wait a minute, he just said where he is.
Right, and how many people were watching that debate?
Well, you liberal journalists, I'm sorry, Lois, you keep assuming that conservatives are dumb, they're not paying attention. You keep saying when they find out, when they have the same access to information you and I do. Why do you keep saying Republicans haven't gotten the message yet? Everybody around me says that. You just wait till the Republicans find out what's going on this planet. Well, they do know what's going on. Lois, I want to give you one more time here. You think that the average Republican is more benighted than the average journalists. They don't know what's going on. We all know about Rudy being pro-choice, but they don't know it.
It's early in this process, and Rudy is basically has really high poll numbers because of 9/11, because he speaks bluntly, because of law and order, and he's never had to address these issues on a national level, a social issue. So we have one debate where he says it, and I'm not sure we can tell from that just yet.
Did you really think that somebody in Tennessee thinks that the mayor of New York is pro-life? Any mayor of New York has ever been pro-life? Do you think they're that out of it, that they think that in the Bible Belt, that the mayor of New York, reelected to 2 terms, was on their side of the cultural issues? That he was anti-gay, anti-choice, they agree with him on everything. He was a fundamentalist, he didn't believe in evolution. Do you really think they think that?
Well, all I really know about him is...
Let's go to Iowa. I'm going to Iowa. Let's go. I mean, you lived in Oklahoma for a while, but you still think nobody knows anything. Let me go to David. David, do you think that conservatives know what's going on this planet as much as anybody else does? Or you think they're completely out of it, like Lois does?
No, I think conservatives do understand that Rudy Giuliani is pro-choice. I think he botched that answer. I mean, it reminded me of Jim Hightower and his great line that the only thing you find in the middle of the road are yellow stripes and dead armadillos.
Yeah.
Rudy Giuliani was sort of trying to finesse it, have it both ways. Look, in American politics today, you're either pro-life or you're pro-choice. You say it that way and you move on. Because he was doing well in the polls, despite the fact that a lot of conservatives know he's pro-choice, because there are other issues at work here. There's war, there's terrorism, there's the economy. There are strengths that Rudy Giuliani has.
Tactically, David, would he have been better off if he simply said, you know, I think Roe v. Wade, we can argue about it, but the basic notion that a woman has less freedom as they proceed in their pregnancy toward the end than they do in the beginning under our law is a reasonable court ruling and a reasonable public policy. Why didn't he just say that?
Well, he couldn't. He wouldn't even have to be that long about it. He could just say, I'm against abortion myself, but I'm pro-choice, and let it go at that. Move on.
But Chris,
Jonathan?
you know, that would never happen, because Rudy's answer in the debate was something that was very familiar to me as someone who covered him when I was at the Daily News. In New York, Rudy's pro-choice credentials were questioned, and what you're finding now is that Rudy's pro-life credentials are being questioned. And yeah, what you find in the middle of the road are yellow stripes, dead armadillos, and Rudy Giuliani when it comes to the issue of abortion.
You know, there are ways to answer this, Lois, because a lot of people don't like abortion, but they do believe we live in a free society, and they want to maximize the freedom people really do have, even if they do things they don't really want them to do.
I agree.
So it isn't like he's in this all by himself, but he could have answered it better.
But he has to have an answer, right? I agree with you. He needs an answer.
And you're waiting to when I want to know how. I'm not going to tease you one more time, Lois. When do you think the conservatives are going to find out that Rudy Giuliani is? Just give me a month, like, you know, Petraeus in September. What month do you think the conservatives of America are going to know that Rudy Giuliani, mayor of New York, is pro-choice?
It could be as early as tomorrow, because we now know that he contributed to Planned Parenthood. So I think little by little things are coming out. Yes, you can't forget that.
Right.
I mean, little by little, we're going to be learning about all these candidates. I mean, look, I think the thing about Hillary's poll numbers going up is extremely telling, because here we are so early. I mean, we're 6 months out, and yet one event manages to push her poll numbers up. So, you know, I think all this stuff is incremental.
Yeah. Do you think the Democrats, do you think we're going to have a third-party candidate who's anti-war, like Hagel, if Hillary's the nominee? That means two hawks running. Do you think that the American people will be looking for a dove to run somewhere, Lois?
I'm not so sure about that. I mean, because, everybody's kind of a dove right now, don't you think?
No, Hillary's not. No, I'm sorry.
Well, she's not, but she's calling for the end of the
war.
Hawk. Yeah,
she's a hawk. She's a hawk. I'm sorry, she's a hawk. The president's a hawk. Rudy's a hawk. A dove is somebody who thinks this war was a lousy idea, and they're trying to, avoid
like
getting in the hole any deeper.
No, I don't think so. I don't think there's going to be a dove in the race because people want protection. They want us to fight terrorism.
Right.
They just want us out of this war right now.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.